round. Baseball today, we're gonna basically open the movie with what we shoot today. Stick around today, we're gonna have a lot of fun.
Sinister with Scott Derrickson. That was my first foray into the horror genre, and I loved working with him on it. The joy of this movie was to get the band back together and just make an old-fashioned scary movie.
Scott, about a decade ago, after we had written Sinister, brought me Joe Hill's The Black Phone. And then fast forward years later, he pitches to me the idea of doing a film about his childhood, about the resiliency of youth and growing up in the 70s in North Denver. We were like, oh, what if we took this concept of your childhood and put it onto The Black Phone? I reached out to Joe and said, what would you think about us doing it? And he was like, absolutely, let's go. And so Joe got on board and we wrote it in about 5 weeks.
Wasn't that just peachy keen?
Need some help?
I was really excited when I read the script. I really liked the brother and sister dynamic and was drawn to Gwen's character especially. But I like the transformative nature of the story and as well as the supernatural horror elements.
Hello?
Joe's inspiration for The Black Phone came from John Wayne Gacy, which was also a big story in the 70s. This film is entirely about that era and about what it was like growing up with these mythical killers, with these catchy names that sold newspapers.
Even the papers call him the grabber.
Just wish you wouldn't say his name.
When I was growing up, there was a lot of cases you'd hear about somebody abducting kids, and there'd be signs up there on the back of milk boxes, and it would be kind of terrifying. This movie felt really special to me because a lot of scary movies don't have the same kind of heart that this one possesses.
I'm really sorry, Finney. I know he was your friend.
It's predominantly children.
Yeah, all the kids.
With most horror films, you see all adults. We're kids, and we're fighting this murderer, psychopath kind of guy.
Plus, it's the 70s, so...
Yeah, that's true. One thing I like about horror is definitely being in it, to see how things are done. You get to see the whole art part of it.
Hey, Mark.
Being a period piece that takes place in the 70s really informs the whole visual style. A lot of that for me is looking at references for the period in terms of lighting and in terms of color and to get a sense of a 70s look. The art department did a great job giving us a lot of texture, and we're using anamorphic lenses that have a kind of softer, more vintage quality to them to give it that period feel.
I love a good 70s movie because that's the period of movies that I was watching that I fell in love with movies. So the cars and the costumes, all to me, just light my imagination on fire. It's part of what makes the movie so haunting.
Hey guys, welcome back to the adventures of Brady Hepner on The Black Phone. I'm here with Zach right now. Zach, give him an epic dab.
What's up, bro?
Yeah, exactly. So right now, we're going to lunch, so we'll catch you guys later.
Oh my gosh, kids give you so much life. It just gives me in touch with my youth, so I love it.
All the young people Scott casts are just terrific in the movie. A lot of young people are really good actors because their imaginations are really wild. So the set became a fun place to be because they were so into it.
And action.
The relationship between Finney and Gwen is really important to how this story works.
Fucking cocksucking cowards!
I knew we had to create a sister character and wrote a character that I've wanted to write for a long time. The strong little sister, but not the precocious little sister. I didn't want her to be smarter than her own age. And so here's this 9-year-old girl trying to understand her psychic powers. And her brother leans on her as much as she leans on him as the older brother. And I loved that idea of that character.
Gwen is very, very tough. I feel like she's really powerful, and she loves her brother Finney. She doesn't want anything bad to happen to him.
Madeleine McGraw, Gwen, did an amazing performance in the kitchen scene when she was getting beaten.
I'm sorry! person who's actually starting to get emotional when he was watching it, and it actually helped me get really emotional because he was like really, really in the moment, and so was I.
Finney's like the outcast. He gets picked on a lot.
Coming out, dickweed. Not fooling anyone, Noid.
Mason brings a natural innocence to the role. He really is a strong kid. He's a resilient kid, and he really makes Finney who he is.
Mason, perfect. So we're gonna do one more for safety and move on.
The line between laughing hysterically and being scared out of your mind is right up next to each other, you know? And Mason just was so playful and so easy to be with. Of course, it was hard for me because my character is always trying to do something horrible to this poor young man. So I had to be careful that he always understood the sense of fun that we were having. Catch the balloons!
Okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
The Shadow Kids are kids that were killed by the grabber.
Yes. So each of us have our own story about being abducted by this guy and basically murdered very brutally.
Who are you? I don't remember.
We very much wanted to make sure the ghost kids weren't just faceless, nameless victims, and we wanted each one to have their own personality.
My character, Bruce, he's the popular, cool guy. Everybody loves him.
Hi, Bruce.
And then one day, he somehow gets kidnapped.
Robin, he's a fighter. He's kind of like Finney's guardian angel. Anytime Finney's in trouble, he's always there to save the day for him.
I'm with you. I've been with you this whole time.
My character's the paperboy Billy. My story is I was wrapping papers, getting ready to go deliver in my neighborhood, and the grabber kidnaps me and puts me in his van.
Griffin, he's just a shy kid. He's just a little bit more scarier, and I think that's because he never really had any friends or anything.
I didn't know you.
Nobody did.
Vance is basically a sociopath. If you mess with him, he's definitely gonna at least stab you with a knife. They think that when the grabber took him, he tried to fight back.
Today's the day, motherfucker!
So here we are in the basement, and we're working out the choreography here. We got Mason throwing some punches with the phone. It's loaded with dirt. There's noise. Phone rings.
It's for you. Welcome to the nightmare end of your pathetic little life.
Final pull. And cut. Cut. Nice. Little energy. That was great. Huh? Look at this guy.
The stunts are some of my favorites. My background in ballet has given me an edge to the stunts. I can run faster. I'm more flexible.
I just have a blast working with kids. They come in wanting to do their own stunts. That's the craziest thing. They want to step up, and I get it. And what you'll see, mostly the kids. Good job. That's a wrap. Let's go eat.
I like making movies with people who are excited to make movies. It's a collective imagination. Scott's communicating to all of us exactly what our job is, and that's being a good filmmaker.
That was spot on. That's it. That's
Working with Scott's been great. He's very collaborative, creative, and we really found ourselves kind of on the same page about how we wanted to approach the film.
I think this is what we want to do.
Scott has been unbelievable. He really talks about the character with you. That's what really helped me learn about Gwen.
You're screaming it out because you are so irate.
Scott has a very singular mind when he's shooting, and he has a very visual understanding of storytelling.
You've got momentum this way, and he skirts that way.
Scott really pays attention to every detail to create these atmospheric spaces.
Okay, good. Let's do one more.
I love seeing a director's vision and talking with the art department and costumes and makeup and how we can all come together to make these lives exist. At the end of the day, it's telling stories about people in an authentic way.
With The Black Phone, we're talking about the resiliency of youth. We're talking about childhood while also offering a really good, fun time. It's why we love storytelling. We want to see people we care about go through the toughest things imaginable and come out on the other side better people as a result.
One of the things that I love about a good scary movie is when you tap into the mystery of our lives. There's just certain elements of our life that we just don't understand and are never going to understand. I find that really exciting.